Rita Deso Amora for the papers this morning now.
Well, as expected, the national dailies are reporting the announcements by the electricity regulator in the country, but let's see how exactly they are reporting it this morning. Beginning with this day, it is leading with the conversation we had here yesterday as the headline. Osaba, we agreed during APC Merger Talks that South will produce next president, accuses party chiefs of frustrating restructuring, urges unity in Southwest to get party's ticket. And of course, above the nameplate label, OPS, that's organized private sector. Others kick as federal government reviews electricity tariffs. Tariff increase to continue till discos cover costs, says NERC. And at last, FG's 774,000 job for youth scheme takes off. The yellow strip this morning says WHO endorses Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19 immunization in Nigeria. Nigeria opens talks with China on vaccine acquisition. Federal government to revoke visas of errant visitors. Has the New Telegraph reporting the electricity brouhaha this morning? Labour, MAN, LCCI, PDP reject electricity tariff hike. Consumers pay more as discos begin new price regime. NLC, Nigerians under yoke of excessive charges. And TUC says unfriendly policies will cripple economy. Other headlines, 2023 APC marks PDP's bid to regain power. The Daily Independent. Condemnation trails new electricity tariff increase. That's how Daily Independent puts it this morning. Other headlines there. How airlines ground handlers, others shared 5 billion naira bailout. That's an interesting report to read. 731 batch BNYC members test positive for COVID-19. Nigeria engages China on COVID-19 vaccine, says Minister. World Bank says Nigeria's growth to resume at 1.1% in 2021. And Ogoni cleanup is a scam, Wike is alleging. Daily Sun says New Year shocker as FG approves another 50% electricity tariff hike. PDP rejects hike. OCC cautions FG discos. It's open declaration of economic war against masses, says Abori Shade, and it's adjustment, not price increases. NEC. 2023 Southeast leaders ask APC PDP to cede presidency to zone in spirit of justice and national harmony as Lagos deploys 1,250 constabulary officers to kickstart community policing. Daily Trust says concerns over fresh electricity tariff hike. NEC OK's increase. Businesses suffering, says manufacturers and artisans. We will resist it, says NLC. And PDP ask Buhari to rescind decision. Nigerian Tribune. NSAS protest. Lagos pays for forensic examination of Lekki toll gate. On the electricity tariff, it says electricity rates adjusted by 2 naira to 4 naira per kilowatt per hour. And that's NEC. LCCI pricing should be strategic. PDP says hike intensive. Anti-people. Kiyamo says NERC's position not reflective of FG organized labor agreement. And West Africa Business News says the World Bank predicts 4% global economic growth, 1.1% for Nigeria in 2021. Leadership is leading with COVID-19. Workers desert federal state secretariats. FG, China begins negotiation of vaccine. President Muhammad Buhari approves establishment of oxygen plants in all states. And that's the front page this morning, basically.
Okay. Great work, as always, Adesua. And I just want to pick two stories. The first story I'll pick, I think, is the front page of the Daily Independent. I was talking about, telecom subscribers face fresh hurdle in NIN confirmation. And I'd like to ask, really, should we really go ahead with this NIM brouhaha now, despite the fact that we're already seeing COVID numbers increase so much? We're averaging over 1,000 as we speak today. A lot of people still hurdle around NIN centers. Going one step further, I'll tell you this for free, that a lot of people have not still done this, despite the number of agents they put out there. We'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll come back and I'll keep the conversation on this. All right, welcome back from the short break. Before we went to the break, I was talking about the papers and talking about NIN registration across the country. And I said, despite the number of people that have been given, the rights to register people, a couple of state governments and the likes, we've not still seen a solution to the logistical nightmare it's bringing. Isn't it just time that we just hold this on while we fight COVID-19 pandemic? Because it's really, really of the essence. The second story is about how they shared the $5 billion given to the aviation sector. And I bring this in context because I was hearing yesterday somebody speak. That's the chairman of Airpeace, Alan Oyema. And he was speaking about the challenges they were facing, how difficult it is for them to even clear their paths when it comes in. The fact that, despite the fact that the federal government has given them a waiver, customs still try to charge duty on their quick essential part to be able to make the plane fly. And he said something that shocked me. The entire money the federal government gave them is $5 billion. He said something that shocked me. He said one engine of his plane got spoiled, and it cost him $10.2 million to repair. $10.2 million to repair is about 4.15 billion naira. So the entire total package given to the aviation sector
cannot fix his engine.
Cannot buy one airplane 737 engine. That's to show you how small that amount is, and we need to incentivize the sector even more.
Dr. Bate, any stories?
Well, Adesua, you pointed out that the alleged hike in electricity tariff is the main story in most of the papers, and that's understandable. And we need to get one point clear, which is that Nigerians don't like to pay for anything that goes up, whether it is fuel price or it is electricity. And I think that in this regard, the NERC, rather than getting sentimental about the objection from organized labor and maybe consumers or even from opposition parties, should see this as an opportunity to communicate more with the stakeholders, particularly organized labor that is threatening to go on strike. Because if you look at it, what they have done, as I said earlier, is to add, if you were paying 56 naira per kilowatt hour before, it means now you will pay 58 naira per kilowatt hour. And they offer the explanation about Forex, about inflation, right?
Yes.
But the way most people are interpreting it is that if you were paying 56 naira before, then you will now be paying 56 naira times 2. So I think it's a problem of interpretation. Perhaps instead of saying from 2 naira to 4 naira per kilowatt per hour, they should just have said 2 naira and 4 naira and probably explain the bands more. So the communications people at the NERC, they have a lot of work to do. And they should not wait till so much tension envelops the land before they begin to offer that explanation. But as I said, what is required in the long run is greater transparency, clarity within the electricity sector. And that will help if the various stakeholders stop resisting the metering program that the Nigerian government continues to promise the people. As for the vaccine, the proposed vaccination program, well, I'm hoping that the executive director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency will speak more and continue to provide us more information. One particular piece of information that is not available out there yet, we say we're taking the Pfizer
vaccine,
biotech vaccine. Okay.
Which requires
the storage. The storage is about minus 80 degrees. Now, do we have the cold storage chain in the country to keep those vaccines when they arrive? Because this is Nigeria. They could collect the first 100,000 doses. They will not have where to keep them. In fact, those things may be stranded at the airports, and then they will
go bad.
They will go bad.
And
at the end of the day, there will be nothing to show for it, right? You will recall that the Minister of Health at a previous briefing had told us that what we have in Nigeria is just the normal refrigeration.
Exactly.
Right? The regular refrigeration levels that we have in our homes. Okay, since the Minister of Health made that disclosure, has any attempt been made in preparation for the arrival of the Pfizer vaccine to ensure that there is the useful, necessary, appropriate cold storage chain that Nigeria will require. So these are the issues, because it's not enough to just tell us we'll get 42 million doses. Okay, do we have the appropriate
to store and keep it safe
infrastructure to keep those vaccines safe?
Yes. I mean, very, very, very valid concern.